Yeah, about that. Our chances of getting accepted into a Halloween party anywhere is usually a big fat no. We're better off just handing out candy to the twins that faithfully show up here every Halloween," said Arlette. Rogue slightly rolled her eyes. "We'll leave them a huge bowl of candy on the front porch for them to dig into. Then we'll go to the trunk or treat near Snob Hill. All are invited to go," she said while looking back and forth to her friends. Meadow shook her head. "I don't know. Nothing ever goes well near that Snob Hill," she replied. Rogue begged like a whining kid. "Come on, guys. Please, 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 I want candy. Plus they hand out candy to adults there as well," she said with her hands in a begging manner. It was Halloween day and Rogue got her wish. The three of them were all dressed up with big black pillows to hold all their candy, which were more than halfway full. They were having a good time and were almost near the end of the line, when suddenly, the very last vehicle was the same exact bullies from the theater. As soon as the three girls caught sight of them, they quickly looked away. "Hey, you don't belong here," yelled Rod. The three bullies followed Rogue, Meadow, and Arlette, who were running to Meadow's truck. They then headed over to Rod's Jeep and continued to chase the girls down a long road that led deep into the woods. The girls were frantic as they were watching their bullies gain on them through the side mirrors. They eventually got so close to where the front of their Jeep was bumping the back of Meadow's truck. Meadow lost control of the steering wheel, causing her to roll into a ditch. A few small cuts and bruises were over the girl's body, but they were okay enough to run into the thick of the woods. The three of them could hear the Jeep back up quickly, and then suddenly heard the three guys jump out of Rod's vehicle and continued to chase the girls on foot. What felt like forever, the three girls eventually ran up to an old abandoned wooden house. They quickly opened the front door, then locked it and ran further inside. They stood in a dark kitchen, being as quiet as they could. "Did you see where they went?" hollered Rod to both Jake and Andy. "I'm pretty sure I saw them go this way," replied Andy. Rod and Jake followed Andy down a path that was fortunately leading in the wrong direction, away from the abandoned building. Rogue, Meadow, and Arlette sighed in relief and began panting out loud. They were in tears from their wreck and the craziness that followed them. "Any of you guys got a light?" asked Rogue frantically. Meadow turned on the flashlight from her smartphone. "Gotcha covered," she replied. "Where the hell are we? This place gives me the creeps. I'm going to have nightmares for a week," said Arlette. The three of them wandered around the creepy old house and eventually ended up in a basement. In the middle of a large room sat a wooden table that had a skeleton hand on a wooden plaque in the center of the table. The bony hand stood upwards with each bony finger extended. "What the heck is this?" said Rogue as she walked slowly over to the skeleton hand. Accidentally, she tripped over something, which caused her to fall down on a wooden floor. She quickly looked over to see what tripped her. There before her was a dead body lying motionless on the floor. The three of them screamed. "Who the frick is that?" yelled Arlette. When they finally came back to their senses, Meadow walked slowly over to the dead body. "There's a note near his waist." She slowly picked it up and read it out loud. "To whomever reads this note, I plead with you. The skeleton hand you see before you is a curse. I want you to burn it. Get rid of it. It will only do you harm." The three girls eventually walked out of the building, with Rogue holding the skeleton hand from the bottom of the plaque. They eventually made it back to Meadow's truck, and from sheer dumb luck were able to get the truck running. Just as they were about to leave, Rod appeared in the middle of the road, aiming a gun at Meadow. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," he said as he was aiming the gun directly at her head. Meadow sobbed and yelled out of fear. "I wish you would just die." It was like it appeared out of thin air. An 18-wheeler truck was on the road and ran over Rod. Rogue looked down at the skeleton hand and was shocked to see a bony pinky finger curl to its palm.